Hello, my name is Gus, but you can call me BatGus, and we are back with our Batman the Animated Series commentary. Today's episode is an episode that is very special for many people and one of the most memorable in the history of Batman the Animated Series, which is nothing less than Beware the Grey Ghost. Like I said, a very iconic episode, and we're gonna watch it right now. As usual, I'm gonna do the countdown for you to watch together with me in your DVD box set or Blu-ray box set of Batman the Animated Series, or if you have a streaming service with the series, you can watch it as well, okay? So let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. The Warner Bros. Logo is on the screen. And Beware the Grey Ghost is an episode that is very famous because it features first of all, it features a different or original character that was created for this animation, that is the Grey Ghost. And the Grey Ghost is a old TV show that Bruce Wayne used to watch as a kid, and it was his inspiration to become the Batman, right? The vigilante, because that's what the Grey Ghost was in the TV show. He was a superhero, not a superhero, but a vigilante of his show. So similar to what some iterations of Batman, he got the inspiration to become this character from Zorro after he watched his movies in the theater with his parents. So Batman very famously has these inspirations on other characters from the past, like Zorro or the Shadow. And here, this animation, the Bruce Timm and Paul Dini's animation, created this character, the Grey Ghost, to be this inspirational character for the persona of Batman, right? And you can see that the Grey Ghost is very inspired also in the Shadow, I think. You know, he doesn't have superpowers or anything like that, but he's basically a vigilante of the night that wears this hat and glasses, and he's kind of cool looking, right, in terms of his visual. And the episode starts with the little Bruce Wayne watching an episode of The Grey Ghost. Is a flashback. Very beautifully drawn scene. Actually, the whole episode is very well animated. One of the best ones in the show. And it is, this flashback is in black and white, which turns the whole look of the scene much more beautiful, in my opinion. And the whole scene alternates with the real life today. I mean, the current times, where the episode shows the Mad Bomber, who is a villain that the Grey Ghost used to fight in his episodes. That is this criminal who explodes buildings, right, with toys. And the similar thing happens in current times in real life, and Batman sees a building exploding, and he receives a letter from the Mad Bomber, just like in the episodes of the Grey Ghost, the character Grey Ghost used to receive from his villain. So there is a very interesting similarity between fiction and reality in the episode. Not only this, but it looks like we have they have copycats in hands, the cops and Batman. And since Batman, Bruce Wayne remembers this episode in his childhood, the whole plots of this real Mad Bomber exploding buildings in Gotham will take him back to his childhood, back to his nostalgia for watching the Grey Ghost, and he will have to use his detective skills to connect the dots with what the TV show was and how it is implied in this new case. I'm gonna be honest, this episode is not one of my favorites. It's not one of those that I come back all the time. I'm not a huge fan of it, but many people love it, and it also has some charming things like the voice of the Grey Ghost in the episode. The actor who plays Grey Ghost, Simon Trent, is played. The actor who plays him is Adam West, the Batman from the old TV show from the 60s. So this is a great homage of the creators, and it's a way to link back, to make a fun connection between an old TV show as well that all of us have a great nostalgia for, with this new interaction of Batman. But anyway, it's not one of my favorites, although I must admit is a good episode. It's very well written. So here we have Bruce Wayne going to a library of old TV shows, and he talks to a guy to find some old movies from the TV show of The Grey Ghost. For some reason, he doesn't remember who is the actor who played Grey Ghost in the old TV show, so he has to look for some files in the library of old actors, and he finds the name Simon Trent. And Simon Trent is an actor that is a wash-up actor, right? Rejected. He doesn't make movies anymore. He doesn't get any jobs. We see a scene showing his life, which is very sad. He lives in an old apartment with many memorabilia from the old TV show of The Grey Ghost, but none of this brings him happy memories, because he was typecast as the Grey Ghost, right? Because it was such a huge TV show in this story that he couldn't get any other job. So he feels frustrated. He calls his agent, but his agent got nothing for him in terms of other roles, and this makes him extremely angry with his past, and he starts to break his memorabilia of the Grey Ghost furiously, because although it was his most famous role, it is also the role that prevented him from getting other roles as an actor. And this could be related to Adam West in real life, right? I don't think there is any other work from him that people actually know besides being Batman in the old TV show. He obviously made many movies and other jobs, but none of them actually got the fame that Batman had. So, and this happens with many actors as well. Some of the James Bond actors, this happens, and many others. And Simon Trent tries to sell his memorabilia of the Grey Ghost to get some money to pay the rent, and he went to this store of old collections, and he sold all his memorabilia to a guy, this guy will be very important later, because he's a nerd. He loves toys and these things. Here comes the connection, right? And he's played by Bruce Timm, ironically enough. He looks like Bruce Timm, and he's played by Bruce Timm, the creator of this animated series. So it's a fun trivia there too. But since Simon Trent sold his memorabilia, he doesn't have anything else from the Gray Ghost to sell again and get more money. And during one night while he's sleeping, all his memorabilia returns to his house. It shows up again in his apartment. I mean, probably new stuff, right? That was bought by Batman. And Bruce Wayne, I mean, Batman leaves a note for Simon Trent. So when he wakes up, the note tells him to meet Batman in one alley. And this is what is happening right now. Simon went out at night and he meets Batman in one street of Gotham. But the man gets scared because Batman needs his help to figure out the case of the Mad Bomber, because it is connected to the Grey Ghost. And Simon Trent gets very nervous. He says, "I'm not the Grey Ghost. I played the Grey Ghost." And he doesn't even remember which episode Batman is talking about related to the Mad Bomber, and he completely ignores Batman. But then all of a sudden there is a sound of a car, actually a toy car, passing down the street, and this is the same sound of the toy cars that the Mad Bomber used in his episode. Then all of a sudden, another place explodes, another building explodes near them, and Simon Trent runs away, and Batman goes after him. And he goes back to his apartment, but obviously Batman is already there, hiding in the shadows. And again, he asks the help of the man. And Batman puts him against the wall because he recognized the sound of the toy cars, right? Then again, Batman wants his help, and Simon Trent reveals that in his closet he has many tapes of the episodes of the Grey Ghost. Not tapes, actually. He has rolls of movies, right? Old film, and gives that to Batman. And while Batman leaves, he says the Grey Ghost used to be my great hero of the childhood. And Simon Trent says, "I'm not the Grey Ghost." And Batman just tells him, "I can see that now." Very, very great line. And poor man, he's already depressed, and Batman puts him even more down. Then Bruce Wayne is watching the film that Mr. Trent gave him back in the mansion to see the movie and figure out the connections of between this new case and the episode. Alfred serves him with a popcorn, and Bruce Wayne travels back in time again in a flashback, remembering his childhood, watching these episodes in front of the TV, and having a toy. It's a very beautiful scene because he's also dressed as the Grey Ghost in front of the TV, and his father always used to put him on bed at night after the episode ended. And even though I'm not a huge fan of this episode, there is a very beautiful connection with myself and this episode, because that used to happen with me as well. I used to watch Batman the Animated Series as a kid in front of the TV, and I used to watch it at night, and my father used to put me on bed after that. So yeah, that's a very beautiful nostalgic moment for me now that I'm remembering. Yeah, now we have a scene where the toy cars are driving, I mean, being controlled in the streets of Gotham, and the cops are waiting for a new attack of the toy cars, and they showed up, passing through the crowd. Some of the cops shoot the cars, and they explode in huge balls of fire. And then the one of the cars is about to explode in front of the building, but Batman, in a very badass way, comes out of the building before, and he uses a flamethrower, which I've never seen Batman using a flamethrower before, but he uses a flamethrower to shoot the car, one of the cars. There is one left now, and Batman follows this car, running after it, and the car turns in an alleyway and flips. Batman gets near the toy. He disables a wire that control the car, and when he opens the thing, there's nothing inside. It was a decoy. There's no explosives. So now about 2 more cars show up in this alleyway coming towards Batman to explode him. So the Mad Bomber was very, very clever here, but a rope shows up in the alleyway. Batman grabs the rope and is pulled to the top of the building by none other than the Grey Ghost. Simon Trent, dressed as the character, shows up and saved Batman. So both characters join forces now to investigate the case. And he says, Batman says to the Grey Ghost, would you like to help me out with this investigation now that you are here? And the Grey Ghost goes, yes, of course. So both men will work together now. Very, very cool, this idea. Batman and his childhood hero working together. And then we have a very cool scene and very action-driven, where it's a funny scene for me, but it's cool anyway, where the Batmobile, both men get into the Batmobile, and they drive down the street while more toy cars follow them. So there is a chase of cars, but actually the Batmobile is running away from toy cars. And so, well, I guess this is a car chase anyway. We don't have many car chases in this TV animated series. I think I told this before, but anyway. And Batman uses one of his gadgets, that is to release a slippery fluid down the streets, and all these toy cars slip over the liquid and hit and crash, actually, and explode, right? So both men escaped. Now they are in the Batcave, and the Grey Ghost gets super excited for being in this place, and he says that it's just like the Grey Ghost's lair. And Batman shows him that inside the Batcave he has a section that has many memorabilia from the Grey Ghost, personal memorabilia that he kept since he was a kid. And this is very cool. I don't have this memorabilia for Batman in my bedroom, in my personal cave, but I would like to have. But I do have some toys, a Batmobile from '89 in a shelf. I also have a Batman from Batman and Robin lines of toys in the same shelf. So I do have some things from my childhood with Batman here. But anyway, during the investigation of Batman, he uses the Bat computer to see from who are the fingerprints in the toy car that he got from the Mad Bomber, and then he finds that is Simon Trent himself, but he's again another decoy, and then Simon Trent realizes that this is a trap made by the guy of the toy store, right? The guy who he sold his memorabilia before. And Batman goes after this guy, again, played by Bruce Timm, which is very funny. And this guy is like, again, a toy maker that is kind of crazy. And he got the idea of using toys to carry bombs and hold the city at ransom from the episode of The Grey Ghost. So, yeah, there is this whole idea. But then the Grey Ghost arrives there too and kicks the guy, and we have this fight. Again, as usual in this TV animated series, he kicks the guy hits some things, some drinks, I don't know. It falls on his computer. There is this short circuit that causes a fire. The fire explodes the whole store of the guy. Of course, Batman and the Grey Ghost take him out before, and everybody escapes safely. But the whole store of the guy explodes just like that, easily. Barely an inconvenience. And then he's arrested, and the episode ends with Bruce Wayne visiting Simon Trent, back again to the fame and the nostalgia of fans, signing many memorabilia of his fans in a Comic-Con kind of thing event. And this is the end of the episode. Again, I hate this ending. I thought it was very lazy, but anyway, I think my problem with this episode is the villain himself. I hate this villain. It's so silly, so stupid. That's what causes the episode to be not one of my favorites. But anyway, a good episode anyway, and one of those that people really love. So thank you very much if you watch this episode with me. If you are liking the content of Batman the Animated Series commentaries, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more. See you in the next Bat video, and bye-bye.